Far too much aggression coming out from HFM. They had a specific game plan. Take away the right side jungle from the solo lane and the enemy jungler. Will it work out again, or will they have to change things around? Let's take a look as we head into picks and bans.
Good purification from Zeus. Snipe connected from Korinyo to confirm it. Bobat is dead. He's going to use purification while in the air. Big shield from Murrdurr keeps him alive. Though, and a cataclysm too. Great play from Murrdurr. Big ultimate onto jungler who gets knocked up as well. Evaporated. Drums of Warcraft and Bobat actually to find that one.
Left side, order side, hungry for more. They'll go ahead and get the first pick. Torpedo will opt for the second, which means they get a little bit more leeway as far as their composition is concerned.
So there's a lot of threats coming out of Hungry for More. Obviously, the Apollo first pick potential, the Naja, the Fenrir for CaptainTwig. But I think specifically they're going to need to target out Variety's Tier this game. He's played 8 games so far this season with Tier. You don't want to make it a 9th. And the way they played in the solo lane, aggressively stealing these buffs, you can't allow him to snowball with Tier. When you have that level advantage, the full combo is just going to destroy every squishy you have.
And that's what Variety is really looking for. But Hungry for More, interesting choice coming out from them. They've been the only team really successful with the Nemesis. But just in case Torpedo's been taking notes, they ban it out.
So with this Nemesis ban, it leads me to believe that Hungry for More want to play an aggressive support, and they don't want to get countered by the Nemesis specifically, whether it's going to be a Bacchus or an Ares for MANALIKE.
Well, the Apollo comes out, and this is something that we were teasing a little bit earlier. Both of these teams consider Apollo to be numero uno, must pick, must ban, and we see that coming out. Ataraxia, his stats on this god versus the other god, he tweeted it out. Not us. He tweeted out his KDA and his stats on Apollo versus other gods. It's night and day. I mean, Apollo, or Ataraxia rather, comes out and he plays very well on almost any character you give him. But if you give him Apollo, he winds up just running the game from that long lane.
Normally you want to keep that kind of a stat to yourself. Ataraxia.
I think it was just so obvious at that point when he was just like, yeah, here's my KDA. It's like 15.4, and everything else is, you know, just fine.
Well, it looks like Torpedo didn't see his tweet or get the memo. They're allowing Ataraxia to pick it, picking up the Chronos in response. Hungry for More getting the Tier and the Bacchus after the Chronos and the Sobek pick for Torpedo. So that's going to be an aggressive duo lane if that's going to be indeed for Gamehunter again. And like I mentioned before, they got rid of the Nemesis so that they can pick an aggressive support.
And that Bacchus, certainly the calling card for aggressive support. We've seen Suntouch of Dignitas fame do absolutely incredible things with the Bacchus coupled with a Wrath pick in the Relic slot. Bacchus just becomes this enemy invade jungle monster, and Suntouch has been able to do it. I wonder, taking a look, if Hungry for More's MANALIKE would be able to do it.
That's something that Torpedo is definitely going to have to be aware of. Everybody was watching the Suntouch game with with quite excitement as he was able to just run trains. Not only did he steal the speed buff with the Wrath, he also stole the blue buff just by belly flopping on top of that, getting level 2 just like that.
No one knows where the fat man goes. So we'll see if Bacchus works out on the side of Hungry for More. Second bans come out. Torpedo realized that there's no mid lane picked just yet for HFM. So Giannis will be taken off of the availability list, and Hungry for More as they approach their next ban. Taking a look directly at Torpedo, they're going to take Ho Yi off the table.
Giannis just providing too much mobility for one team, so it's a good idea that Torpedo did ban it. They did have the luxury to pick it up next, so it leads me to believe that they want a different middle instead of Giannis, maybe more burst-oriented CC combo depending on what jungler they pick up. A Willish being banned away from Torpedo. Normally when you have a Sobek, you'd like to pick a Willish. Now with a Bacchus Bacchus support, the Willish jungle would complement that.
Exactly. I mean, Sobek is the calling card for, or the poster boy for the Wheelish knockup combo, but Bacchus does it also very well. Geb to a lesser extent, but there's a number of characters. But with that in mind, Sobek and Bacchus are definitely the number 2 and number 1 characters when it comes to that sort of situation.
And Hungry for More now banning away Fenrir. Normally, CaptainTwig likes the Fenrir, likes the Naja. Those two aren't in his arsenal. He played the Nemesis last game. We'll see what he picks now.
I like the Wheelish ban because that's why the Fenrir ban comes out. You see the Wheelish ban, and if I'm Hungry for More, I sort of figure out, okay, they don't want us to play with the Bacchus, but knowing what we like to play and they like to play, they're Torpedo looking for a jungler. Now, honestly, Batz is the character that NinjaBobat leans on a little bit more than Fenrir, but both are options for Torpedo's jungler. So Hungry for More says, all right, you want to play a jungle with a jump, we get it, We're going to ban one of them and hope we're right. Not so much. But Hunger for More take Thor for themselves and Zeus in the mid lane. So a number of options coming out for HFM. Whereas Torpedo rounds out with Batz and Neith.
A pair of globals for both teams. Hungry for More picking up the Thor in response. Torpedo capitalizing on the Neith. That can go between middle or the duo lane for Gamehunter. We'll see what they elect to do.
So Hunger for More with the Zeus pick. A little bit all in here. Very different situations from what we've seen PrettyPriMe play in the past. How does Hunger for More really help out PrettyPriMe here?
In this situation, with the Bacchus playing very aggressive and the Thor can easily set up the Zeus with the long tectonic rifts done, guaranteeing your chain lining off of the shield.
So Zeus, a lot of power punch in a very, very easy to gank package. Batz and Neith will prove to be very difficult for PrettyPriMe to deal with. Hunger for More looking for their second win in as many games versus Torpedo. Let's get to it. Looking for first blood is Hungry for More, and it's enough to take out Korinyo. PrettyPriMe with the 1-2 punch.
Now he's dead.
Teleport.
He's 100% dead. Unless he can like one-shot Shaggy.
Fantastic play by Variety, forcing the issue. Welcome back, folks. There's Ataraxia on his token, or his classic, I should say. His classic Apollo. Tier 2 skin, but that's neither here nor there. This is really the classic pick for Ataraxia. I mean, we rounded off the stats for this season, but even going back beyond, Ataraxia has always really enjoyed the Apollo pick.
And having the throwing dagger paired up with a Bacchus, it's going to be a very easy wave clear. Chronos struggles a little bit early on in terms of wave clear. Sobek does as well. They're looking to play more kind of the aggressive or maybe the counter aggression, depending on if Bacchus connects that belly flop or not.
Yeah, Murrdurr on the Sobek. Sobek is all about just punishing you for your mistakes, whether it's due to aggression without a clear game plan afterwards, or just plain bad positioning. Sobek is really the punisher when it comes to that situation. Whereas as far as Hunger for More, like you said, I mean, they're going to push up, and the mana for So Beautiful and all the other abilities will be saved for when Ataraxia and MANALIKE want to get aggressive.
So in the last game, Hungry for More started off only with a red pot onto Twig. This time, PrettyPriMe pairs that up with a purple pot of his own. So they're going to look to play very aggressive, knowing Korinyo is Neith in the middle lane. He's going to start off with a throwing dagger. Batz on NinjaBobat is going to start off with red pot. We'll see how that 2v2 transitions.
And with that power pot onto PrettyPriMe, this puts Thor in a position where he can set up for the mid lane at level 1, at level 2. Level 1's pushing it, but at level 2 or level 3, as long as the detonator and the chain lightning are available, you're going to see the opportunity for Hunger for More to make some early plays here in mid.
And if they start off the way they did the last game, getting the fire giants, getting one side mid harpies, that's the reasoning why CaptainTwig was able to get that little bit of an experience lead, because of the fact that NinjaBobat was behind, even though Korinyo got the solo left side mid harpies at the beginning of the game.
And here's the solo right side mid harpies at the beginning of the game, going the way for PrettyPriMe. He's level 3 already.
And the jungler and solo lane are now grabbing the fire giants out of Hungry for More. They were able to bully out NinjaBobat and Moix and able to out-rotate. We do have an aggressive rotation out of MANALIKE at the 1 minute mark.
And already one more hit and it's secured. PrettyPriMe with the first blood. A little bit of trouble for the Thor, but quickly walks away, and NinjaBobat won't be able to find the kill onto CaptainTwig.
Level 2 Neith now leveling up her backflip, and why would she? She doesn't expect the Bacchus rotation around the 50-second minute mark of the game.
You know, normally we see the, I won't say normally, but occasionally we'll see the jungler go ahead and make a surprise gank over to the duo lane. And just that sheer factor of surprise. Thor's not level 5. Why is he just walking in here when he's supposed to be, quote unquote, doing mid camps or whatnot? Now I'm double tapped, now I'm dead. The same thing happens there in the mid lane. Bacchus is supposed to be, quote unquote, someplace completely different on the map. So when you come through on the mid lane, like you said, why should I level my backflip? Why should you be here?
Well, now Korinyo, as he revives, he's thinking about that as he walks back to the middle of the lane. Now he's behind it. This makes the Zeus purple pod that much more efficient. Normally, when you pick up a purple pod, you're looking to get something out of it. And right away, the fact that Hunger for More got that, it's huge, because now the gold lead is in their favor.
I mean, just break it down for the math. 450 gold for a temporary stat boost. And then off of that temporary stat boost, you're able to secure yourself a 500 gold lead because of the first blood. I mean, that's 50 gold pure profit. That's just pure profit.
It's pure profit, and also you're denying a lot of experience to the mid lane. PrettyPriMe already level 5, Korinyo at level 4, as they're going to get their back harpies. They're going to lose more gold under the mid tower. They're not going to be able to get back there in time to fully clear the wave before it reaches the tower line.
PrettyPriMe, MANALIKE, and CaptainTwig now rotating over to the right-hand side of the map, looking again for these elementals.
It could be the elementals. It could also be a gank with Thor at level 5. He doesn't have that much mana to commit to the Guan. Also, Guan is pretty healthy right now. Is sitting at level 5 as well, so he has cavalry charge available. MANALIKE trying to just sit in the lane, see what's going on. Potentially setting up for a speed buff invade yet again. Last game he was playing the Sobek aggressively. Now he's playing the Bacchus, and this time around Murrdurr is rotating as well in the mid lane.
MANALIKE walks in the lane just to go ahead and get the farm. Hits level 5 because of it, so Intoxicate is available. Should MANALIKE be looking for the burst. And again, a lot of attention. Hungry for More looking directly at the speed buff. Doesn't have the Wrath like SunTouch did last week, but he's got his own brand. There's the jump, and there's the Intoxicate. Speed buff goes the way of Hungry for More, but MANALIKE in some trouble. One ultimate, two ultimate, down from the sky comes Twiggy. The double tap not going to find it, but the basic does. 2 kills for Hungry for More, and Korinyo answers right back off of a separate engagement in the mid lane.
And with the meditation and the speed buff onto MANALIKE, he's looking to get another belly flop, not going to find it. They're going to reset and steal the blue buff yet again. So a consistent strategy that Hungry for More has implemented in the second game, similar to game 1, is invade the speed buff and the blue buff. The difference was Bacchus this time around with Intoxicate has the initial burst. Sobek has a good amount of damage from his ultimate, but it takes a little bit of time to come out, and that's why the Bacchus was so successful.
So even with the death onto PrettyPriMe, that still winds up being largely okay, largely in the favor of Hungry for More. They're sitting up about 2,000 gold, give or take, wave to wave, directly against their opponent, Torpedo. And PrettyPriMe, like we said, he already got the kill off of the first blood for the mana pot, so that dead red pot, or the purple pot, I guess, not a huge deal. CaptainTwig, on the other hand, gets flipped back. That's going to be a problem. Finds the teleport out, but the jump will follow suit, and NinjaBobat gets the jump kill on CaptainTwig. It's now 2-2. Both teams are even on the kills, but Hungry for More has just been farming a little bit better.
And Moix is going to have to use his ultimate defensively. Now, earlier on during the speed buff invade, if that speed buff was picked up for Twig, he would have escaped in that situation. MANALIKE picking up the speed buff so he can try to aggressively keeping on in the blue buff invade or maybe look for another pick. Kind of hurt Twiggy.
Variety here. We'll pick up these elementals one more time. That'll put him at level 8. And already 400 gold up against the Guan Yu. Moix has had some problems. Red buff, not successfully invaded by Hungry for More, but MANALIKE making sure that everybody knows he's going to be at every single buff camp.
And just like that, 135, 180, 220 damage, just like that, because you have the speed buff, you're constantly being very annoying. Intoxicate was looked for, not going to find it, and now MANALIKE's going to get turned on.
Rooted, there's the Intoxicate, but Neith from a distance able to clean it up. Here comes Variety over the top, Fearless into the power cleave. Variety with the combo takes out NinjaBobat.
And Thor does land. He wasn't able to find anybody in the max distance, trying to follow up off of the Bacchus. So far, it's a 1-for-1 trade. Trading your support for the jungler, obviously, favoring Hungry for More in this situation, as they're up about almost 2,000 gold so far. And they're still consistently invading. CaptainTwig taking away the back right harpies. Speed buff is responding in about 45 seconds or so.
Just going for everything. Hungry for More, making sure that, again, game number 1, they definitely paid a lot of attention to it. And here in game number 2, never comfortable is really the goal of Hungry for More. They want to make sure that you don't get anything easy, nothing for free. 2 separate fights going on here. CaptainTwig needs the body block. Variety shows up in the clutch, and it's going to be a kill for Murrdurr anyway. That's a kill onto the Sobek. Support finds his first kill of the contest.
That was a very necessary pick that Torpedo needed to do onto CaptainTwig. They can't allow Twig to just run away with the control of the jungle. They're even playing aggressive onto Variety. The Neith and the Humbats doesn't care about Variety right now. They just want to grab their own speed buff, and it looks like MANALIKE was trying to find another invade, but NinjaBobat able to secure that for himself.
Yeah, not a surprise. I mean, even after the death in the mid lane, MANALIKE still aggressive, still looking for the fight, still wants to be a part of whatever Hungry for More is able to accomplish here.
And MANALIKE still looking for these Fire Giant Imps. A lot of attention to this solo lane by both teams. And Hungry for More is able to consistently find the Fire Giant Imps up until the point where Twig finally falls and Variety finally falls. But MANALIKE still looking to play aggressive around the blue buff.
And here comes Fearless into the power cleave. Defensive ult coming out from Batz, but an Intoxicate from MANALIKE able to sneak away the kill onto the jungler. 1 kill, 1 death, and 3 assists in a 4-kill game. MANALIKE has been all over this map.
You have to respect the damage coming out of the Bacchus Intoxicate. Thor's up in the air trying to find the kill onto the Neith. As she backflips, Zeus ult is going to come out. The detonate is good. The damage is going to be enough. Nice. As Korinyo does fall.
And I like how Hungry for More just completely pivot on their foot. They're attacking on the right side, looking for a kill onto somebody who actually gets away. NinjaBobat winds up wiggling away. And Torpedo, well, they think it's all about the solo lane. Surprise, Hungry for More are able to transition that thanks to a Thor ult, even though it misses all the way into the mid lane.
They find 2 kills, they find the blue buff, and now they might find themselves a goal here around the 8-minute mark as the Sobek is here with lurking in the water. They don't have Intoxicate. Hungry for More secures this Gold Fury as somebody does get plucked. MANALIKE
in some trouble. He'll go ahead and fall, but that was Neith ult as well. So the only ultimate available is Gamehunter's, and that's a very defensive ult. The damage has already been done as well. Gold Fury falling down just 30 seconds prior. Moak's able to answer back with 500 gold of their own, but Torpedo still trailing 2,300 thanks to a couple of good engagements from HFM and a Gold Fury.
That was a really confident and risky call at the same time for Hungry for More. They have a little bit of a lead experience-wise, so they know that they can escape if needed. However, they didn't have the Bacchus or the Zeus ultimate to secure the goal here. They only had the detonate,
right.
And they were opposed with the lurking in the water coming out of Murrdurr, which does a lot of damage. Finally, Torpedo's able to capitalize with a speed buff invade of their own, but you know, getting more objectives with the blue buff invades and the Gold Fury favoring Hungry for More so far.
Ataraxia really wanted to get rid of that ward. Ulting over there from the base.
50 gold in your pocket. You know, there's nothing to scoff at. That 50 gold adds up if you do that every, like, minute or so right there. 50 GPM.
I suppose. Interesting choice to ultimate there.
And especially with all the action in the solo lane anyway, there's no risk of you getting ganked.
I think that was the call there. Honestly, was Ataraxia wanted to see what else was going on the map, use his ult to get some necessary vision, and then just clears out what he can. CaptainTwig, though, doesn't have the vision, and a couple of players intrude on him in the mid lane. Murrdurr gets credit for that, but PrettyPriMe, after dropping his ult, turns it around and takes out the aggressor. CaptainTwig falls for Murrdurr. That one honestly goes the way of Torpedo, trading their support for a jungler.
Very good trade so far out of Torpedo 1-for-1. Their red buff they're able to secure. Now they're going to make sure that the speed buff is not contested. CaptainTwig is dead. He does have his ultimate available, but he's too far away. He doesn't have that second relic teleport that some Thors do elect to do. They like to position themselves in a way where they can teleport one lane and then ulti right on top of wherever the action is.
So Hungry for More last game about this time had a lead and was running away with it, specifically with the experience category. They're still certainly leading with gold, about 2,000 to 3,000 depending on the wave and the situation. But right here, Hungry for More definitely a little bit closer to their opponent with wave XP. How does that... Hold on, MANALIKE wants something. Jumps, finds the knockup, looking for the stun elsewhere, but the jump away.
Just forcing the disengage as CaptainTwig. Not going to find it. The damage from Zeus is going to be enough, however. Not going to find a kill. But it's going to force 2 people back from Torpedo as Variety finds a cleanup kill.
Again on the backside, always in between your towers is Variety coming around the side with a Fearless into a power cleave, and that gets the kill onto Korinyo.
And with that, there's more aggression coming out of Hungry for More. MANALIKE going to get stunned up, but there's no follow-up as well. He does have his ultimate if he needs to use it, which should be the case right now as he belly flops away. Going to get chased down by Moex. A lot of damage from Zeus. They find a 2-for-1 trade.
Yeah, MANALIKE winding up on top of that one. That's going to be a good look at Ataraxia. Ultimate's over here just to get to the tower quicker. He knows exactly what his job is here in this situation, and he goes ahead and piles the damage into the mid lane tower.
And with that, Hungry for More looking for objectives now. They're looking for the middle tower. You do have CaptainTwig invading the blue buff as well. Meanwhile, Gamehunter's doing what he does best on the left-hand side, just accumulating more farm and waiting for the right opportunity to rotate. And Ataraxia doesn't care. He's content with rotating, giving up the free farm, and he's going to get the left side mids.
Exactly. The tower's not going to fall. Gamehunter has made the rotation, so Ataraxia not too concerned.
And now Hungry for More are going to return the favor, losing their solo tower, going to establish themselves a tower of their own at the 11.5-minute mark, extending their lead quite comfortably at around 4,500 gold, 4,500 experiences. Well, not as much as it was last game, but it's still a very comfortable lead at this point in the game.
I mean, 4K at 10, 11 minutes, that's still a big chunk. It's just the fact that we saw an abnormally large chunk last game. I mean, if you take out of context, if you take that one game and throw it aside, this lead is a huge lead. It was just the fact that the other one was astronomical.
It's still a good lead. It's like basically an Olympic judge giving somebody about a 9.9, and then the next game they give them about a 9.1.
Right.
That's the difference right here, which in the Olympics is a big difference. And over here, it's still a very good lead, but it's just not quite as much.
It's all the comparison game. There's going to be aggression coming out from the guys on Torpedo. Ataraxia gets flipped back, just sort of stares in the distance, and then decides to walk away. Gamehunter waiting. Not going to find much of anything. MANALIKE down to about half HP, dealing with a lot of what Torpedo's able to give him. This could be a spill for the support, and it will be as Murrdurr pops up.
Spill into lurking in the water. Belly flop was down, nowhere for him to go. And now Torpedo has to do something with this advantage. CaptainTwig is going to go in the air. Who is he going to look for? He misses everybody.
Ooh. But Variety comes on the side. There's the ultimate out of Bobat. And Ataraxia is in the sky. Lands on top of Ninja. Not going to find the kill, but PrettyPriMe will. Excellent ultimate to secure the kill onto the monkey. And Variety has made the rotation, but just so far as the red buff.
And the red buff, another objective that Hungry for More are taken away from Torpedo. Despite losing one member on MANALIKE, they're able to find the return kill and another objective. Torpedo are never able to find the objective.
Power cleave. Can't find the last hits, but there's a follow-up jump, and right on top, going to be dodged out by the Neith Hunter. And now Variety's in some trouble. Fearless into the Gamehunter. And he'll walk away, but one more time, Variety doing all of this work. And why? Because his team is on the Gold Fury. Another unanswered objective, thanks to Variety's superior skills when it comes to zoning.
And now, Perfect Sanctuary avoiding the damage out of Moex. Moex still going to dive this. Mez is going to stop all the Taolu assault damage, and they find a kill, forcing the Purification out of the Zeus. Murrdur's going to fall as well, as we do have a rotation from Gamehunter.
Stun out onto the mid lane. Zeus, not going to be enough as the double tap comes through. CaptainTwig looking for the follow-up. That's going to put Gamehunter in a bad spot. He's right in front of the enemy
Twig
tower.
in a bad spot as Gamehunter's trying to find the kill. He is going to find it after he connects that hit. MANALIKE rotating as well. Going to find the stun as Variety's going to try to confirm the kill after he switches to offensive stance. Not even going to need it.
Nah, Intox, MANALIKE winds up on top. That's the third kill of the game for the support. He's been a part of 7 out of 12 with only 3 deaths. Different story for PrettyPriMe, however. 9 out of 12 the mid lane has been involved in, and only a single death on the Zeus. Hungry for More has been putting PrettyPriMe in a fantastic position to ensure that all of the damage is able to not only come out, but he doesn't die.
Hungry for More are just so good about objectives. During that earlier exchange that we saw when the tier dropped the kill underneath, unfortunately, should have defensive dash and then power cleaved instead of power cleaving and dashing.
Right.
Misses the power cleave because of the root, but it bought enough time for the rest of Hungry for More to secure that goal here. He does a good job also juking out Gamehunter in the process. Unfortunately, Torpedo are not able to capitalize any time that they're up a man, whereas Hungry for More are always looking for that little bit of an objective. They find it, and this is why they're establishing themselves with this lead.
Yeah, I mean, Hungry for More, honestly, they very rarely, if ever, go for a fight without a clear objective in mind after the fact, whether it's the Gold Fury or something as small as the red camp, or, I mean, we've even seen the invasion into the back camps. Hungry for More truly internalizing the phrase, the stuff after the stuff. They're just going for every single objective every single time they get the opportunity.
And they don't care if the torpedo is being thrown at them because they're going to eat that as well. They're always hungry, and they're slowly and surely constantly accumulating this gold lead. Variety is going to look for a rotation as well. They need to establish their experience lead into more team fights at this stage of the game. Murrdur's taking a lot of damage from the Zeus and Thor combo.
And there's the ultimate. That's going to be a dead crocodile. And even if Murrdurr doesn't have anything to say about it, Ataraxia will. Out of the top, coming slamming down from the sky. Now NinjaBobat being chased by one. PrettyPriMe able to find Korinyo again. And now the rotation from Hungry for More on top of where CaptainTwig was, hoping Torpedo would turn around and try to take out the backing Thor. But Torpedo just a little bit too smart. And instead, HFM will turn their focus onto the mid lane Tier 2 tower.
And during that, Gamehunter did find himself at Tier 1 to the left-hand side. Going to lose his Tier 2 in the middle lane. Not really worth it if they can't get the Tier 2 on the left to respond. And now Hungry for More going to look to put pressure on this middle side. Only NinjaBobat able to defend this. He does have his ultimate if necessary. There is a wave here to allow Hungry for More to get this Phoenix a little bit quicker. Lurking in the water is used.
Murrdur's up as well, about half HP on the Phoenix, and it's going to send everybody packing. Hungry for More doesn't want to really take this fight, and so we'll see the retreat out of the blue squad.
Yeah, we did have Thor on the left-hand side forced to defend that Tier 2 left tower. It allows the rest of Torpedo to kind of rotate and defend that middle Phoenix. Now, the thing about Torpedo is they have better sustain in teamfights with the Guan Yu. They're just never in a position to really utilize that to their advantage. Yep. We saw so many games with Guan Yus where the healing is so massive and the teamfights are in their favor, but not in this case for Torpedo at all.
There's the push again one more time with the Intoxicate that you were bringing up, and it's just allowing the opponent to go ahead and pick up the tower. But a bigger play being made on the other side of the map. Torpedo, they've taken the opportunity for the surprise kill. Half HP already on the Fire Giant, rotating over as a soul lane. Fearless and power cleave into Korinyo, and that's going to leash the Fire Giant. Healing up now is Fire Giant still, tanking on Bobat, but there's the retreat from Torpedo. Excellent response from Variety.
That was the response that they needed. They recognized that the Fire Giant was exposed. Tier 1 left tower.
Our turn.
There was too much aggression on the left-hand side. They even pinged out the Fire Giant like, hey, they could be doing Fire Giant under no. So Vario's like, okay, I'll go check. I'm so high level right now that they can't kill me.
Thor's up in the air as well, looking for the turnaround kill, is hungry for more. PrettyPriMe already drops the ultimate and already drops Moex. Now continuing on, looking for NinjaBobat. The jump is down, and Murrdurr trying to zone out hungry for more. Beautiful placement of the ultimate prevents anybody from going in that direction towards the mid lane. The only one left out is Korinyo, and he's going to fall. Double the kills of their opposition is hungry for more, and they're going to walk directly towards the objective that they just took Torpedo off of.
It's going to be very difficult for Torpedo to hold this. They need to find the right opportunity for NinjaBobat to come in with Fear No Evil. Variety trying to zone out. PrettyPriMe on the outskirts as well. Gamehunter goes in. Shell is popped. MANALIKE jumps in.
And NinjaBobat going to take some poke. Fearless off the mark. Beautiful dodge coming out from the Monkey. There's a dash forward by Ataraxia. And another beautiful play by the Monkey. Fear No Evil used defensively to save the teammates. And now Variety looking for the kills to jump over the top. Unfortunately, Variety will have none of it. Flipping right on top. Looking for two more. MANALIKE picks up two with the double kill off of this single Intoxicate. He's feeling himself. He's feeling good. 5, 3, and 7 for MANALIKE. Welcome back to the SPL, Frezzy.
Welcome back indeed. Hungry for more, doing a good job. Finds a 2 for nothing, but they don't stick on the Fire Giant. They're kind of worried that it could be potentially stolen, so they take off of the Fire Giant, and they find another 2 for nothing. They reset, and now, instead of going back on the Fire Giant, Gold Fury is up, Speed Buffs is up available as well. They're sitting on a decent amount of gold in hand once they get that Gold Fury, and they're just slowly whittling Torpedo away constantly, now establishing about a 9,500 gold lead.
And that's an incredible amount. I mean, last time we saw this really catapult themselves into 5 digits over that 10K mark. You really just start to become a menace to the enemy team. Hungry for more right now. Ataraxia already swinging, not going anything too crazy, but we are seeing him build into the Fatalis now after a while. So over in North America, we've seen what they call the Snoopy build, which is no boots, and you buy the Golden Bow and the Fatalis, and that equals the same movement speed out of boots, and you're able to do different things from there. Ataraxia, again, always wanting to be just a little bit different. He'll build Chinsai and a little bit of power, but now directly into the Fatalis.
It's very important to go Fatalis onto the Apollo. It allows you to also chase down a target whenever you use your dash as well. It gives you that movement speed and your team that movement speed. So when you couple that up with Fatalis as well, he's able to chase down any target that gets away, even if it is going to be a very defensive Guan Yu or a Sobek.
So he's just able to stick to the target. And at the end of the day, also, don't forget, it also just makes him faster in general. Allows him to catch up to these plays that MANALIKE is pushing out. So many aggressive plays coming out from the entirety of the team. And now no jump available. Hungry for more to help out and support. There's a lot of towers being taken. And MANALIKE will fall down because of all those shots. Korinyo gets credit for that. But aggressive. Twiggy trying to find the mark. Can't and won't. The Thor will retreat.
Apollo is in the air. He's going to come landing down somewhere, depending if they want to play aggressive. Not going to find it, however. Twig just being annoying on the backhand side. Able to drop down MANALIKE Torpedo, but the question is, what can they get out of this? The answer is really nothing. They have to still defend their Tier 2 tower. They can't fight in the jungle. A lot of cooldowns were used. Well, one actually specifically, which is the Hanbat's ultimate, which is a huge teamfight ultimate that they need to successfully win and displace a lot of members from Hungry for More. Not having that in their arsenal makes it difficult.
Yeah, Fear No Evil is the turnaround onto MANALIKE. When MANALIKE jumps in and hits the belly flop and the Intoxicate and all that nonsense, Fear No Evil comes down to prevent the onslaught that Hungry for More want to follow up onto the Bacchus with. So with that down, like you said, I mean, Torpedo in a much different situation, not very strong at all.
Not very strong at all. And Hungry for More did a good job buying time around that Tier 2 tower. Twig was harassing them on the backhand side, just buying time. And now, because Torpedo could have potentially looked for a play around Fire Giant with that 5v4 power play, not necessarily grabbing it for free, but just baiting Hungry for More in a position where they overextend, they're separated, and they find another pick or a second pick. And the fact that they didn't allow that time allows MANALIKE to respawn and now contest this side of the map 5v5.
And that's what they're going to look for on the right-hand side. That 5v5, Hungry for More. They've got 3 here. a 5th in the mid lane, but the 4th coming around the back. MANALIKE will surprise the enemy. And there's Variety, actually, excuse me. He misses the Fearless. He's off the mark, but the damage from Zeus shield totally there. And there's the 5th up in the sky. He's going to find the targets. 3 of them including, and PrettyPriMe puts Murrdurr in the ground immediately. 2 ultimates on top of each other opens the door for Hungry for More.
It's as simple as that. It's just literally the Thor landing down, Zeus ultimate on top. They find an earlier pick because of the damage that the Zeus dished out with his shield chain lightning earlier on. The damage from PrettyPriMe is a lot. All he really needs is the setup that he has from CaptainTwig, and it's working out really well for them.
I mean, that's the understatement. Hungry for More, they're sitting up over 10,000 gold, more like 12 to 13. Torpedo have no chance to take on this Fire Giant. It's all Hungry for More on this objective. 19 to 9, 10 kills above the opposition. Variety's going to flip forward, no longer looking at the Fire Giant, just looking at the invaders. Torpedo in some trouble. There's Korinyo firing a shot, but it won't be enough. NinjaBobat falls down in the hand of Ataraxia. From the side comes Gamehunter. Looking for the control is going to be Variety, but he can't. He gets knocked up. But Gamehunter, he's intoxicated, and Murrdurr can't get away. PrettyPriMe as Moex gets pushed into the wall. CaptainTwig's up. CaptainTwig's up. CaptainTwig's up. CaptainTwig's down. Not going to find the stun, but it's all about the separation, creating a situation for his team to aggress onto the Phoenix. No one's around, or at least deep enough to make an impact. Gamehunter's tossing out random spells, but it just won't be enough. Torpedo lose their right Phoenix, the first one of the game.
So Hungry for More doesn't even care about Fire Giant. The way they were playing that, they had Variety zone out 3 members on the right-hand side of the map for a very long period of time. And as soon as they got closer to the Fire Giant, Hungry for More instantly disengaged, pops a sprint, starts chasing them down. A lot of damage from PrettyPriMe. Thor followed up with some CC, allowing PrettyPriMe to consistently do that damage as well. And they find the right side Phoenix, which is actually a better objective than the Fire Giant because they still have that available.
And the Fire Giant, so realistically, I mean, when you think about all the things that the Fire Giant bring to you, what does the Fire Giant do that a gold lead doesn't?
Well, it allows you to siege the Phoenixes better because you just do more damage to
Sure, but I mean, you've got 13,000 gold up above.
You also have the sustain.
It's really the sustain.
That's the difference. Because, like, so when you're sieging Phoenixes, the disadvantage that you have as you're sieging is the fact that the members can instantly go back to their fountain, heal up, and come back. But as long as you have the Fire Giant buff, you're still in a position able to kind of match the sustain and siege the Phoenixes stronger.
Exactly. Hungry for More, instead of going for the Fire Giant, because they realize everything with the exception of the sustain they have with their 13,000 gold lead, and if we just kill them, the sustain's not really in the conversation. So the Fire Giant, a little bit less important to Hungry for More at this point in time than their 15,000 gold lead, and they're just going to go ahead and leverage that in the situations, allowing them to pick up the right-hand Phoenix.
It definitely helps, though, to have that 15,000 gold, having that one extra defensive item or, you know, another offensive item, allowing you to establish that kill, giving you that lead, giving you that Phoenix as well.
I mean, the lead that you see specifically on the support right here, it's almost 2,000 gold, right? Almost 3,000, and that allows Bacchus to go ahead and open up on the Witchblade, the 2 aura items. So everybody on Hungry for More, they have these bonus stats brought to you by the Bacchus, and that's a real big part of what's allowing Hungry for More to go ahead and start these aggressive fights. They realize that they're going to be more tanky and deal more damage than their opposition, not just because of the flat gold, but because of everything that their team has been building.
And now Thor's in the air. They're trying to find a kill onto Murrdurr. The damage is going to allow after the detonate. That's an easy, clean pick. Hungry for More finding Chronos is split pushing the left-hand side, trying to get the Phoenix. Can he find it against the tier?
Half HP already, but now comes the retreat. Korinyo in some trouble. Look at the damage that Raxia is able to put out. 407 on the Hunter for the side of Hungry for More. Gamehunter was split pushing. Now he's just running. Variety over the top finds the slow. It's going to be purified out, but Fearless power cleave in a basic will do the trick. Variety puts number 24 on the board for Hungry for More.
So Torpedo was in a very desperation mode there. They got the tier 2 on left, the tier 2 on middle. They committed all their eggs to this push because they wanted to get a Phoenix during the process. They knew they couldn't contest the Fire Giant, so that option was not available to them. They didn't want to get nothing in return for the Fire Giant, so they at least got 2 tier 2 towers, but they failed in terms of getting the Phoenix, which was their ultimate goal. And now, unfortunately, they're probably going to lose off of this push.
Well, we'll take a look. 5 members up for Hungry for More. Only 2 down for Torpedo, so 3 in total are alive. And honestly, Korinyo will be spawning momentarily. There's a stun on the backside. MANALIKE still leading the charge, and the mid Phoenix will go down. 2 Phoenixes down already for Torpedo. A tier 2 tower still stands.
Hungry for more, very methodical about what they want to do. They don't want to go into the Titan room. They want to get all 3 Phoenixes down. They want to make sure that they finish this week off 10-10, positioning themselves closer to that number 3 spot.
Well, I mean, it's very important, as we said, to not only has this team really improved week by week, but the very first time Hungry for More and Torpedo came up against each other, they wound up splitting. They went right down the middle. And Hungry for More and Torpedo were looking like a very evenly matched team at that point in time. They both had some high potential, but there was a lot of problems off of the paper. When it came time to play the game, these teams had some issues. Hungry for More have fixed those issues and have moved in a direction, not a perfect team by any stretch of the imagination, but they look like a top half of the bracket team, whereas Torpedo, unfortunately, they haven't made the same strides that HFM have. So the first time these guys come around, Toli, this looks like, all right, 1 for 1, these guys are evenly matched. The second time here in week number 7 towards week number 8, I mean, Hungry for More have dominated these 2 games.
And we can see their last 10 games for both teams. Hungry for More going 7-3, and Torpedo in their last 10 games went 2-8. And that's clearly dictated by how the pace of the last game went and the pace of this game. Hungry for More positioning themselves to close out this set 2-0 already, as CaptainTwig is just nonchalantly 1v4ing as the rest of the team groups up with them.
CaptainTwig playing like a solo laner here, just up above everybody, not even just in positioning. Also up above on the charts. Number 3 for player damage is the Zeus. He's built that shifter shield, he's built that beat stick, and he's got the Titan's Bane. So he's going to be swinging pretty damn hard. Ataraxia as well, taking out this right-hand Phoenix, half HP, half power, and that's a dead one. So 2 dead birds on the side of Torpedo's base.
The Fire Giant is still available for another 35 seconds for Hungry for More. And they're going to try to squeeze out this last Phoenix remaining. CaptainTwig looking for a setup for Ataraxia and for the Zeus player, as the Sobek is in a lot of trouble.
And that's the downside of the Sobek. When you miss the pluck, you're just in a bad spot. CaptainTwig's going to go up and look for 1. Ataraxia has already picked up Murrdurr. It's a 5-on-4. Backside, CaptainTwig lands for the kill on the Bobat and then tries to turn it around. Raxia's got 2 as they continue pushing into the enemy base. That's the 3rd. Variety finds it. 1 more person is alive. His name is Gamehunter, and it's just a matter of time. Nobody looking at the players. They're all looking at the Titan. Half HP for the Chaos Titan. Scratch that. It's 0. Hungry for More. 28-9, and just shy of a half hour. Wind up with win number 2.
Win number 2, putting them at 10-10 at the standings. They still got 8 more games for the rest of the season. They got a long road ahead of them. They got Cringe Crew next, Dignitas, Panthera, and then Leftovers. It's going to be interesting to see how they fare.
It'll be interesting to say the least of it. Hungry for More, though, like we said, a drastically different team here. What's the biggest thing that's changed from, I don't know, week number 1's probably pushing it, but from when we first started Hungry for More succeeding, what's the biggest thing that's changed for you?
Well, the roster change obviously allowed them to feel more comfortable. CaptainTwig playing more aggressive, allowing more follow-up from PrettyPriMe as well. We saw in the last game specifically, the Zeus always getting off the damage off of the CC from Twig.
Yeah, CaptainTwig has been a big part of it, that transition in the jungle, doing work early on, but able to really be successful here. Nemesis has been a big part of the last 2 wins, which is hilarious because she's been a big part of so many other losses.
Exactly, and when you're able to, find that turnaround that other teams can't find, that puts your team in a really good spot, especially when you're playing this aggressive early on. You're constantly stealing the speed buff and the blue buff away the way CaptainTwig was in the earlier stages of game number 1 and rolled throughout the whole pace of the game.
Yeah, I mean, here's Twiggy just doing it by himself. He's able to pick up 1 earlier on, and then he answers right back for the double kill. Look at this, just right on top of... He's got to catch up, and then right on top finds the double kill. And then after this one, this is fantastic. I mean, this is just the team fight prowess of CaptainTwig on this Nemesis.
And not only game number 1, too. He transitioned the same exact way into game number 2, establishing a lot of mid lane pressure for PrettyPriMe as well off of the Zeus in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, here it is. This is exactly what you were talking about, just always being around. PrettyPriMe was able to capitalize off of the fact that CaptainTwig was just never out of the conversation. Every time PrettyPriMe seems to be in trouble, well, nobody can respond. Over the top comes CaptainTwig and then follows it up with the basic attack to take out NinjaBobat. 1 more time. CaptainTwig up in the sky. Keep an eye on where PrettyPriMe is. Right there, playing aggressive as the Zeus. No one can respond because on the backside is CaptainTwig chasing all of the damage dealers out.
And this is how you have to play as a jungler. You find somebody isolated, you take advantage of it, you have somebody follow up off of it as well, and he just keeps setting people up Always.
And whether it's the offensive like we saw right there or the utility, there's a great wall to stop everyone in their tracks. Double kill go in the way of MANALIKE. The little sneaky Bacchus winds up with the double kill thanks to the Intoxicate. But like we said, Thor, versatile character. You're able to see both sides of CaptainTwig. And then game number 1 on the Nemesis, this is a utility character as well. Nemesis able to do the work there.
Nemesis did a lot of work. Variety on his tier did a lot of work game number 1 as well. Off of the speed buff and the blue buff invades, positioning himself to be such a big bully. He had a big experience lead, 6 levels ahead of Korinyo as he's going to dive him and do a lot of damage.
And I mean, this is something we see Variety do every single game. He rotates out of the short lane and just comes from behind the tower. He's able to go ahead and push the enemy into the wall and then follow up, which is why tier is such a powerful choice for Variety specifically. He winds up coming around from the tower, then fearlessing the opponent into the clutches of whoever's waiting on the right side.
Yeah, and he's played here so often in the SPL that teams aren't banning it away. And now after this game, I expect Cringe Crew in the next set to adapt to it. They need to do their research and homework and look at Hungry for More because they're ready to play.
I mean, sometimes these warrior players in the solo lane, warrior specifically, but sometimes mage, etc. When you look at a player performing well in one particular god, you can say, all right, he's just up there playing frontline support. He's just any warrior. We can ban out his Hercules, but then he's going to play Osiris. This is a different story. I think Variety specifically playing the tier, and what he's able to do is he's able to come around on the backside of the engagements and then push forward with the Fearless. So we bring something a little bit different.
He brings that gank potential underneath, and whenever you're soloing and ahead the way Variety was, that's so strong for the rest of Hungry for More.
Not the only player constantly doing it, though. Variety, coupled by Ataraxia, really the main guy that's been a part of this team, the captain of the squad. Rumor has it the guy to bring everybody together, but we don't have to rely on rumors. We can talk to him himself. Congratulations on your team's recent wins. We've got Ataraxia, the hunter and captain for Hungry for More. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys doing?
I can hear the smile in the voice, man. How's that? Just on a personal note, Nate. How's things?
Yeah, things are good. You know, we made a lot of promises when we put the team together, which didn't really come to fruition in the first half of the split, and it just, you know, every day it's a happy one, knowing that people are changing their opinions and that we're doing good work in the SPL.
I mean, it's all been it's no accident, and like I said during the broadcast, I was one of those guys in the beginning of the season, but there's a tangible, you can visibly see your team improving from week to week to week. Why don't you, as the captain, break down a little bit of the work behind the scenes that you guys have been going to move from 8th all the way up to the middle of the pack and now looking towards the top?
Well, when we put the teams together, the main aim, which is kind of ironic when you look at the first half of the split, was to make Worlds, and it was the journey to get there and to build the team up and get better and better. And I think that during the first half, we weren't really putting in the right amount of work, if I was to be completely honest, and I think that goes for most of us. But since that split, everyone's been putting in insane hours and really working, doing the extra stuff outside of just playing to really step it up and get to the next level. And almost copy Panthera. If you watch how much those guys play together, it's no surprise that they're the best team in the world.
It seems like you guys are really comfortable with each other, specifically with the roster swap afterwards. You guys have been performing really well the last couple of games, actually like a dozen games. You're 9-3 in the last 12. How has Zindern helped you guys in that coaching position?
It's been more of a synergy thing for everyone working together. Honestly, it's quite funny for me. The dream for an ADC is to just sit in lane and farm and farm and farm, and then your team wins the game. Then you roll into team fights, get a couple of kills with 8k play damage, and you've got a great KDA. And that's really the story of these games for me. Is I just sat in duo, and my team just carried me through the wins, it's pretty nice. And I think that Zin and the boys have been putting in a lot of work to make that a dream.
You know, it's really fun watching at the beginning of the season. It was really the Ataraxia show, and very rarely did that show wind up with the victory, but you performed very, very well and sort of hoped that your teammates would come pick it up towards the end. And then, as we said, as the weeks went on, that happened, but not every time. Now we're seeing the sort of opposite. I know that you might have always trusted the team and everything, but how has everybody really come together? You mentioned synergy. How has that really come together, and how have you really forced everybody to sort of buy in?
Well, this is in large part to Frezzy, actually. He is, I don't know if how much experience you guys have with him,
okay,
but I'm sure that he will get greatly offended when I say this, but he is just a massive troll.
Oh, yeah.
And he, he brings a lot of fun to scrims and to games and stuff. And I think that's really bonded everyone together. When we're losing, it's still fun, It's not just all about the winning. And I think that's because of him and his attitude to the game. If he feeds, it's still funny, it's still good fun, and we're still learning. So
Just
shout outs to Frezzy on that one.
just staying positive. Hey, tell Frezzy, tell him don't waste my time. Now, Tully, you have something to ask for before we go?
You were speaking of KDA earlier. I wanted to ask you personally, why would you tweet out your own stats for the KDA? Is there some kind of dark secret that you're trying to mislead people away?
Well, I'm just a very egotistical and vain person. It wasn't 15, by the way, after it was 32.5, but I think it's just gone up with that last game. But I'm just a stat paddy, I'm not very good at Smite, but I do have some good stats on at least one god.
There we go. The very modest Ataraxia. You have anything to say to the fans at home before we let you go, man?
The same thing as always. Thank you very much for watching Smite. Thank you very much for watching esports, making my dream come true. So, yeah, you guys, thank you.
Thank you. That is the hunter and the captain for Hungry for More, Neith Ataraxia. And, honestly, he likes to joke around. It's funny when you're so used to, we're playing politics and people pretend to be nice people or pretend to be humble. Ataraxia actually has to pretend to not be super humble about things, and it just never really comes off all right. But truly one of the more reasonable and grounded people that I've ever experienced and had the pleasure to deal with in esports. But him and his team certainly not grounded as they make the launch up towards the top. Hungry for More now even. This is the first time all season that they have been even with wins and losses, tied with Team Dignitas as Hungry for More now find themselves number 4.
And now Torpedo on the bottom, tied with Fnatic at 5 and 15. They're going to more than likely get relegated. There's about a few more games for them to go. And now Hungry for More, sitting at 10 and 10, they're closer to that number 3 spot for DreamHack.
Which is exactly what the teams are fighting for. The only team in the entirety of the SPL guaranteed to go so far, well, it's Panthera. No surprise there. As for everybody else, there's 8 other teams that will be competing to make their way to fight over $2,500,000 in Sweden. If you want to go as well, you can buy tickets at dreamhack.se. That does it for the European side of our broadcast today. Hungry for More taking 2-0 above Torpedo, but we've got a treat for you coming up next. It's North America, Luminosity versus Denial. Both of these teams have struggled towards the beginning of the season, but still remained relevant. They were able to tread water. Now, both of them have their feet underneath them, and they're hitting the ground running.
Denial looking very strong. This is going to be a very aggressive series between Mass and Anister. I can't wait to see the two junglers just clash at it.
I mean, these guys are fantastic all across the board. The junglers, though, with attention to the speed buff, these guys are going to be everywhere. Make sure you stay tuned. We've got that much coming up for you right now in a couple of minutes. Soon. We'll see you. Just goodbye.